Hey guys, I'm back again. This is my second video today. And the reason why I've done two videos in one day is because yesterday I didn't do a video. So I got to catch up. So today, this video is actually today's video. The one I did a little earlier that I posted earlier, that was actually for yesterday. So I apologize if that confuses you, but that's the way it is. All right, guys. So let's get into it. Let's talk about background checks. That's right, background checks and why they're vital and how you can do them safely and effectively. All right, guys, this is Jay Burnham. I'm with the Jay Burnham Show and my awesome, stupendous, amazing, I don't know what other kind of adjective I could come up with, studios. Dun, 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 Lady Mouse. Anyway, all right, guys, don't get me started on my cartoon impressions. I can do Mighty Mouse and a whole bunch of other things. But let's not go there, all right? Wow, don't want to digress and rabbit hole that one. All right, let's talk about criminal checks, guys. It's imperative that you do criminal checks or at least some sort of check for yourself. You should, at the very least, go to the person's Facebook page and see what kind of person they are. They will give out their most intimate and personal details on Facebook. It's amazing. I do it. You do it. We all do it. We can find out if they're Christian, if they're family oriented, whether they're into the thug life or white trash or drugs or whatever. You'll find out really fast and really amazing. You can find out what music they like, which then will indicate what kind of life they live. Believe it or not, if somebody's listening to country music, they're probably going to be a little bit more on the straight and narrow. Someone's listening to rap, they're going to probably be more into the thug life. It's just the way it is. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm not trying to be racist. I'm not trying to be anything. This is just the facts of life. People will do and say and listen to what they already internally are doing themselves or wish they could be doing. So it gives you a good insight. That's the very least. But how do you do background checks? How do you actually get involved? Well, if you want to check for felonies, you want to go to state and county records and find out if they've got any kind of felonies or anything like that. If you're talking more federal cases like murder or fraud or taxes or drugs, you're going to have to go to the state records. Now, this can be very, very time consuming, and that's something that you guys want to do yourself. My suggestion is that you would hire somebody to go and do that. Now, that could get expensive if you got a high turnover rate, which our industry does. That's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately. So, how do you do it? Well, there's plenty of companies. You can go online and just type in background check companies, and a list of companies will come up that will do background checks. You can find companies that will do it very, very inexpensively to very, very expensively, depending on what you're really going for. But I think there's really four things you want to check with a background check. And you should understand that background checks are very vital. I mean, even the big corporations and big companies do background checks on their employees. I mean, you want to get the right guys. In the movie business, one, you cannot and should not ever hire anybody that has a criminal sexual conviction on their charge. I don't care if it's whatever it is. If it's child molestation or rape or anything, do not hire this person. You do not want that person. If people found out that you hired a sexual predator, your reputation would be ruined. So do not hire sexual predators. You also do not want to hire convicted felons or anybody that has any kind of theft-related conviction, even misdemeanors. You really want to take a second look at. I mean, you're talking about people's homes, and you don't want to let people who will be able to see what they have in the person's home having access to that home. Believe it or not, thieves will come into a home. I'll give you an example of what happened to me. One time I hired a young kid, about 19 years old, looked pretty good, talked well, looked pretty good. I didn't do a background check. Come from Detroit. Ding, 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 ding. I should have been like alarm bells going off in my head. His very first day, oh, I can't believe this. He steals customers' checkbook and then gives it to his roommate, who writes out checks and tries to cash these checks and actually gets them cashed. And I'm like, and then I talked to the guy and he's like, well, I didn't do anything. I'm like, man, it was only you. Only you have access to this guy. So I actually had to call up the cops and so on and so forth for a check fraud and have him arrested. But the guy's very first day, he didn't even wait. He didn't let's give me a week. The very first day he steals this guy's checkbook. You got to find out if they're thieves or not, man. You really got to do. And if they're coming from a city or an area in the city that is notorious for, let's say, less than savory people, that might be an indication you might not want to hire that individual. And you know what I'm talking about. You know the bad areas of town. And if people are coming from that bad area of town, they're typically not the good guys kind. That's just the way it is, folks. I don't want to, it's just the way it is. But you want to do it. And there's 4 things you really want to look for. You want to find out their criminal history. Again, you're looking for theft, any kind of theft. You want to see any kind of sexual assault on the previous sexual assault. And then anything else that might be apropos. You don't want to hire people that are convicted felons or people that might have had violent crimes or anything like this. Again, I'm a big believer. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge believer in giving people a second chance. And if they can show me that they can change it, I will hire somebody. I have no problem. But there is a certain type of person that you just can't hire because your insurance won't cover them, right? Your insurance agent will not cover these people if they're considered a driver or whatever. They just won't be covered. And if you do hire somebody that does have one of these, forbidden criminal histories, it's on you, my friend. All on you. Okay, another thing you want to check is their driving history. You don't want to hire anybody that can drive or that's going to drive and that has drunk drivings. Multiple drunk drivings. One, okay, fine. But multiple drunk drivings or has, reckless drivings, a bunch of, 1 or 2 offenses isn't huge, and I could care less about tickets, here and there. What I'm looking for is people that have a history of poor driving. Again, your insurance company will not insure them, or if they do insure them, your rates are going to skyrocket, and you don't want that to occur, right? Also, you want to check the person's references. You really do. You want to check. You want to give them they put a reference. Give that person a call, and don't call from a business phone. Call from a thing and ask for so and so, and then just ask for it. Hi, yeah, I'm calling from Joe Blow. Oh, I'm sorry, he doesn't work here any longer. Oh man, that's too bad, man. That sucks. I've been trying to get a hold of him. Do you know how long ago did he? How long ago? And then you can kind of just by the way the person talks about it, find out whether it was he left because it was good or it was bad. All right. So you can literally find out that way. You can tell by the tone of the person's voice if he's but then do call again from a business standpoint. Do realize when you're checking on references, legally they can only give you so much. Basically all they can say is yes, I would hire this guy again, or no, I wouldn't hire this guy again. If they say no, I wouldn't hire, don't try to press. And I've had people try to press me, but legally you really can't say much more than that. So just get it. If they say no, then yeah, then he's probably not a great hire. Okay. And then also you want to check drug use. People that have drug histories of drug use. Again, I'm a big believer in giving people a second chance. I don't, if they've proven they've been, free of drugs, they've been sober for several years. Hey, yeah, let's go, let's do it. But again, you're taking a chance. But if someone's just sober recently, you might want to wait on that because, people that take drugs are usually going to be desperate, and they justified stealing and a bunch of other things. You will get thieves as part of people who do drugs. That said, there are people who are doing marijuana now in a lot of states. Like in Michigan, it's legal to smoke marijuana medically, And I do that in air quotes on purpose because we all know you don't have a medical condition. You just want to smoke, so you made up some stupid thing. And some doctor who wanted to get an easy $100 signed off. He probably didn't even look at you or do any kind of examination. Just went, oh, Joe Blow, yep, sign here, and got $100 for it. We all know what's going on. It's a big scam. But anyway, you know, I don't care what people do outside their business life, as long as they don't outside of the work hours. But don't bring it into my work thing. But that said, if somebody has drug history, or a rabid drug history, you might want to hold off on that until they've proven that they can get sober, including alcohol abuse. All right, you might want to give it a year or two to find out. Okay, good, they've been sober for a year or whatever. But you got to verify. Now, Ronald Reagan had this awesome slogan. He said, "Trust but verify." Right, and basically that means, yeah, trust the guy. Trust what the guy's going to say, but verify what they say, right? You want to make sure, I've talked about building a good company culture and making sure that you have the best guys. The way you're going to do that is if you trust them, but verify what they say. Because believe it or not, there are so many people who lie on their applications. There are people that have criminal histories that won't divulge them. And if you don't check it, you're never going to know. I can't tell you how many times I've hired a guy who said, oh yeah, I'm clean as a whistle, and find out that they have warrants out for their arrest and got pulled over by the cops while they got these warrants and got taken to jail, and I'm stuck there with nobody. It's not a good thing. And I've actually worked for companies with people like that. So don't be doing that. You don't want to be messing around with that, okay? So do your checks. Now, you can hire a company, like I said, go online, go background check companies, you're going to get a list. Also, the way you can also do it is check with your insurance company. Some insurance companies will do background checks for you. You can say, yeah, I have Joe Blow here, he's going to be a driver, and they will do a background check and say, yeah, we're not going to do that. Now, another thing is when you do background checks, do realize that these potential hires have rights. Okay, there are some things that they got to do. You can't just go and do a background check unless it's of public record. All right, you just can't do it. So make sure you get a permission slip or have something in writing says that you have permission to go do these background checks on people. Okay. And make sure that you're following the appropriate laws for your state, county, and municipality. All right, that is imperative. Your insurance agent will help you out with that, I'm sure, or you can talk to an attorney or somebody who knows about the law. Now, if you're lucky enough to know somebody that can do background checks, like a private investigator or someone like that, hey, utilize them, get it done. All right. But definitely consider doing background checks, especially as you decide to move from the more you decide to move up to the next level of your moving business. All right, guys, hopefully you found this informative. Thank you very much for listening. I really do appreciate each every one of you. So thank you. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Share this with all of your family and friends. And please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great day.